The lights are brighter than they look on camera. I can feel the heat on my cheekbones and the cool sweat on my palms at the same time, like two seasons sharing one sky. My heartbeat is a small drum I didn't know I was carrying into the room, tapping out a private rhythm under this quiet. I say your title softly, as if I'm placing a small note on the table between us, and I let it hover in the space. Because this is real time, not a memory. I'm not rehearsing, I'm not polishing. I'm breathing right here with you, letting the red light of the lens be the only witness besides us. In a few minutes, I'll tell you what I'm letting go of. I promise. For now, I want you to feel the shape of the moment with me. The way the studio smells faintly like dust and coffee. The way the world narrows to one circle of brightness, and outside that circle is everything I can't control and everyone I love anyway. Hello, I'm Jin. I know you already know that, but saying it out loud steadies me. It's a little playful to introduce myself like we just met, I know. Yet I do it because it reminds me that identity is not a brand or a job title. It's a person with a pulse and a voice. And my voice is warm tonight. Calm. I want it that way because I'm speaking to ARMY not as a performer in a hurricane of sound, but as a person in a quiet room. You and me. That's it. If you listen closely, you can hear me inhale. See? Even the sound of breath can be a bridge when the world is loud. There's something I need to talk about that is simple and not simple at all. It's about control. About how I keep thinking I can hold everything, every schedule, every expectation, every note perfectly still in my hands, like a star I don't want to burn out or drop. And it's about trust. Trusting the team that stands behind the camera and behind me on stage. Trusting their eyes when mine are tired, their timing when mine hesitates, their instincts when mine grows stubborn. It's about rhythm, too. The rhythm of a life that isn't just stages and flights and applause. A rhythm that includes mornings without alarms, afternoons that stretch like open fields, nights where the echo fades and the silence sings. I'm still teasing you, I know. I said I would tell you what I'm letting go of, and I will. But hold this curiosity with me like a candle. Let it light our way a bit longer. Before the confession comes the context, and the context is love, my love for performing, my love for the craft, and my love for you. Some of you are watching from places I have visited 100 times in my heart, and some from cities I've touched with only a weekend and a stage. When I think about the moments that keep me alive creatively, it's not only the big crescendos. It's the way eyes brighten in the crowd when the first chord hits. It's the way strangers become a single wave. And sometimes, somewhere very specific, the wave feels like it's reaching for the moon. I'm thinking about the United States, about those nights when the venues breathe like living creatures. I arrive and the energy is already waiting at the door, shoes tapping on pavement, conversations bubbling, 1,000 small stories heating the air. During concerts, you don't just sing back, you pour back. It's not a performance you watch, it's an exchange you insist on. Even at events that aren't concerts, the casual ones, the formal ones, you bring a kind of loud kindness, a confidence that says, we're here, we're all in, let's build this memory right now. I respect that. I'm moved by it. I like a lot of things about a lot of places, but when I land there, I feel something shamelessly enthusiastic, like the room is already saying hello before I have the chance to introduce myself. And I like that hello is big and human and unafraid of being seen. Still, even as I say this, another voice in me whispers caution. The voice that asks me to keep everything in line, to be the center of the circle at all times, to anchor the ship no matter the weather. That voice is protective. It has kept me steady when the world spins. It has also made me tight in the chest sometimes, made me hold people at arm's length when I needed them closer, made me overwork a phrase when simplicity would have been more honest. There is a second voice too, the one that invites change, the one that tells me I don't have to steer every moment. That voice wants me to leave the door half open and trust the draft. It wants me to let the team catch the ball midair, to let the music breathe without me measuring every inhale. If I had to describe the argument between these two voices, I'd say one of them is a metronome and the other is the wind. The metronome is sure and useful and keeps the time. The wind is alive and mysterious and sometimes unruly. The stakes are not small. they're everything. My inner health, the soul of my relationships, the quality of the work that bears my name, the courage to believe in people who care as fiercely as I do. If I cling too hard to the metronome, the song stays neat but loses its weather. If I surrender entirely to the wind, I might drift past the shore. What I'm learning right here, right now, is that music needs both. Life needs both. And trust isn't abandoning the metronome, it's asking it to dance with the wind. There was a night in a rehearsal room when this came to me, not as a theory but as a feeling. The room was half dark, just a lamp on near the mirror. The floor smelled like wood warmed by footsteps. A sheet of lyrics sat folded on the piano, creased down the center like a letter that had traveled a long way. Outside, the city was still awake, but our room had slipped into a hush that felt like dawn arriving early. My hands hovered over the keys, then fell to my sides. I didn't play, I just listened. Someone in the hallway laughed, a quick burst, and gone. I looked at the paper again and realized the fold was exactly where the line about breathing ran across the page. I smiled. I didn't plan the fold, I didn't plan the timing, but the lyric and the crease met in silence and told me the same thing, breathe. I thought about the people who would hear the song later, about you, and I understood that the moments I remember most vividly are the small ones. The glance from a teammate that says, I've got you. The first ray of morning in a studio window. The last note disappearing like a bird. The big nights matter, but the small moments hold them together. I guess I'm stalling because the words I promised carry weight. So here is the mini truth I've been holding since the beginning. I'm letting go of my need to be at the center of everything, not the center of music, not the center of us, just the center of control. I'm not walking away from dreams, I'm changing how I hold them. I'm choosing to trust the people who stand with me, to let them meet me halfway, to let them lead sometimes, to accept that perfection is not the same as presence. When I step onto stages in places where the energy leaps up like it does in the States, I want to join the leap, not choreograph it alone. I want to be surprised again. I think you want that for me too. And as I say this, the room feels kinder. The lamp seems warmer. Even the camera's red eye blinks like a friend who knows when not to speak. You and I, in this circle of light, are rewriting what goodbye means. Maybe goodbye isn't a door slamming. Maybe it's a door left half open as you walk into a new room where the air is easier to breathe. Goodbye, control that makes me small. Hello, trust that makes us bigger. I told you I would say it, and I did. Now, without announcing it, I'm gonna keep going, because this isn't two speeches, really. It's one river with a slight bend. It feels strange and beautiful to say that not being the center of everything is a relief. It's like putting down a bag you thought was part of your body and realizing your shoulders can move differently. I stand in front of the mirror sometimes and I practice doing nothing. I let the team set the lights, I let someone else adjust the mic stand, and I don't reach out to do it again. I let the set list breathe. It's not laziness, it's faith. Faith that people who love this work the way I do will bring their whole hearts, and that my job is to bring mine, not to hold theirs in my hands. This is the new rhythm I'm trying to learn. Give, don't grip, listen, don't layer. Be here, don't edit the moment while you're inside it. How does it feel? It feels like those American nights when the audience starts singing before we ask, when the balcony and the floor become a single body. It feels like the volume turns into a kind of tenderness, like the noise is a blanket we all hold at the corners. When I say I like the fans there, I mean I like the way they arrive already open, the way they risk looking foolish just to be fully present. Enthusiasm is a kind of bravery. It says, I'm not afraid to show I care. In those rooms, I don't have to light the fire by myself. The match is already struck. I don't prefer them because others aren't beautiful. I prefer the lesson their energy teaches me. Trust the room, jump with it, let it change you. That lesson travels, it follows me to every city. It makes me kinder to myself when the night ends and I walk into quiet hallways. There's a tender fear underneath this shift. It asks, if I'm not organizing every second, will the work still be me? The answer surprises me with its simplicity, of course, because my identity isn't a script or a schedule. My identity is the way I treat people. The attention I give to a line until it reveals its true color, the warmth I offer when someone's hands are shaking off camera, the humor I use to break a heavy moment into sunlight. My role on stage is a role. My person is bigger than that. When I confuse the two, I shrink. When I separate them, I can bring the person to the role and then take him home again, whole. I'm learning to keep quiet rooms in my calendar the way I keep shows. A morning with tea instead of a timeline. An afternoon where a melody can wander without a destination. A night where I watch the window turn from amber to blue and I don't make a post about it, I just let it be mine. In those rooms, I hear myself again. The thoughts arrive without costumes. I can ask, what do I want to say next? Not what should I say to fit an expectation, but what do I want to say that feels true? The answers are slower, softer, more durable. They become songs that don't chase applause, they invite it. They become decisions that don't fight time, they befriend it. Trusting the team becomes easier when I remember that love is not only a feeling for people, it's a way of working with them. Love says, I believe in your eyes, I believe in your ears, I believe in your timing. When someone places a harmony just where I would have placed it, I feel seen. When they place it somewhere I would never have thought of, and it moves me, I feel expanded. That's what I want to keep chasing, the expansion that humility makes possible. If I try to be the center of gravity at all times, I deny myself the orbit of other stars. But when I share the sky, the constellation gets more interesting. We find shapes in it we couldn't see alone. I also think about you in the quiet, about how these words land on people who have given me so much. Sometimes I imagine you hearing this on a bus with your head against the window, or in a kitchen while washing a single cup, or in a classroom during a break, or on a night walk beneath a restless moon. I hope you feel included, not instructed. I hope you hear me admitting that even someone who looks confident in front of a crowd can be learning how to be gentle with himself. I hope you take from this not an answer, but a permission slip to be both brave and slow, both loud and careful, both wind and metronome. There's one more small story I want to tuck into your pocket before we go. The first time I decided to let someone else call the cut in a shoot, I stepped back from the monitor. I didn't hover. I folded the lyric sheet once. There I go again with that fold, and I looked up. The sun had moved across the floor and landed on a corner of the room where nobody was standing. Dust floated there, made visible by the light, making its own choreography. It was so ordinary and so beautiful, I laughed. And the laugh wasn't a performance. It was a thank you to a moment I would have missed if I had insisted on deciding everything. In that laugh, I felt the door click from almost closed to half open. The air came in, my shoulders changed shape. So here's the promise, small and honest. I will keep showing up with a full heart, but I won't make my heart carry what belongs to many hands. I'll keep the dream, but I'll stop treating it like a fragile glass I can't set down. I'll keep singing, but I'll also keep listening for the quiet that teaches me what to sing next. I'm not leaving, I'm leaving a habit. I'm not saying goodbye to you. I'm saying goodbye to my need to be the center of the map so I can be a truer point on it. When I step into rooms in the States where the enthusiasm hits like morning, I'll let it wash over me and through me, and I'll bring that courage to every other room I enter. Because energy like that is a lesson first and a location second. This is not the end. It's the end of one way of doing this. The beginning of a way that lets my breath come back whole. A way that trusts the team, not as a safety net, but as a chorus that makes the melody make sense. A way that treats each goodbye as code for a better hello, hello to work that feels like oxygen. Hello to relationships that outlast noise. Hello to a self that is not measured by the number of spotlights, but by the light he shares. Before I let the room go quiet again, I want to offer you something, not a direction, just an invitation. Somewhere in your life, there's a goodbye you've been postponing. You know the one. You don't have to write it to me. You can write it in your mind, or on a napkin, or in the notes app you never show anyone. Make it 3 words. Only 3. Let them be soft and true. What are they?